That was Wisdom Minute with Pastor D, or Wisdom Moment with Pastor D. Thank you, Pastor D. Thank you, Nikki Nicole, for the praise playlist. And that brings the Gospel Hour of Power to a close here on the Doc Hardy Show, broadcasting on WPKN 89.5 FM. We serve communities in Fairfield, Litchfield, and New Haven counties here in Connecticut, Suffolk County on New York's Long Island, and we stream around the world at WPKN.org. You can also tell your smart devices, Siri and Alexa, to please play WPKN. Big event coming up here in the city of Bridgeport next Sunday. Happens to be my birthday, September 3rd. Down in McClevey Green, the 50th anniversary of Hip Hop Celebration, presented by Hip Hop 1000, White Flash, Tony Crush, and the city of Bridgeport. And I'm blessed to have in the studio with me this morning, for the second time in my 5-year run at this station, the inimitable DJ White Flash. We're going to talk to Flash in a little bit about this event, but I like Flash to make his introduction the way only he can. So I'm going to give Flash about 15, 20 minutes to do his thing, and then we'll talk about this event, and then we'll give him some more on the backside. Flash.
Yes, sir.
Drop it like it's hot, brother.
People gonna tell you, yo, you do it. Shouldn't see
Listen to the sounds of DJ White Flash on the Doc Hardy Show on WPKN 89.5 FM, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Flash, man.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling, babe?
Tired, but I'm good.
You're good. So first of all, let's take this discussion in parts. We're going to talk first about the event, the big event next Sunday at McClevey Green. Starts at noon, goes to 7 p.m. Man, tell the folks why they need to show up. Why they need to show up and show out for this event.
First of all, blessed to still be doing this 60 years later. It's for Bridgeport. It's for the city of Bridgeport. Because if you haven't noticed, we haven't been able to do anything in several years. Quite a bunch of years.
Yeah.
And we need something, man, because we don't have anything hip-hop oriented. So they came to my comrade, Mr. Anthony Marshall, and Hip Hop 1001, which is a kids organization. They teach the youth about hip-hop and DJing and all that stuff. And the city came to them and said, look, we'd like to put on a hip-hop celebration for the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. Everybody else is doing it. Why we can't have one? So they brought it to me and my comrade, Tony Crush, from the infamous Cold Crush Brothers, which has been a Bridgeport resident for the past 20 years, and nobody really knows that. So we came together at the table and we laid some stuff down, and Bridgeport has a good timeline as far as the birth of hip-hop to the current state of hip-hop. And it's pretty lengthy, but I've been around so long, man, I feel like I'm older than dirt sometimes. But even with the things that I do involved with hip-hop nationally, when I go sit down and do stuff, recently did KRS-One's podcast, Temple of Hip Hop. Real great man. He really is a teacher. And the timeline for hip hop, it started in New York. I was in grammar school, man. We wasn't up on that, man. So they've got us by, some years.
Right.
But I always said that when hip hop was birthed, Metro North runs from Grand Central to New Haven. And hip-hop got on that train and got off in Stamford, Bridgeport, New Haven. Then it trickled upwards to Danbury, Waterbury, Hartford. So the timeline is there. I went to Harding High School, 1976, 77. I played sports. But in the off season, I used to want to keep in shape. So I used to run with the basketball team. Charlie Bentley. We had legends at Harding High School, you know what I'm saying? But I was a little white dude that was just, working out with them, whatever. Had a nice little jump shot from the corner, being in the hood. But they was like, yo, the white dude, why don't you play some music for us while we in a layup line. So I said, well, that's cool. We had a little big gray turntable with a speaker on the side. I started buying some records, started playing them some music, Voltage Brothers, and, it was an experience. And that kind of birthed me into wanting to know more. And I'm originally from Bridgeport, but I went to grammar school in Stratford. And my mom worked at a place called Stratford Town Fair in a bakery. And it just happens, whoever knows Stratford Town Fair knows they had a record department. And back then, 45 records was only 69 cents. So I was the little chubby white dude coming to Music Day with the Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Kool and the Gang and BT Express, stuff like that. So I always loved music. And then came the radio days, Tough Tony, WNAB, WHBI, all the New York stations. And I just took the love of music and started doing parties, just parties. And I used to go to work. I worked for the Boys and Girls Club system. After that, I'd walk to a nightclub, do a club till 3, 4 in the morning. All right, don't judge me. It was work.
We don't judge you.
But that birthed me into the next step, which was I never had a group, a crew. Then I worked in the club, and there was a real popular group called Legion of Doom in Bridgeport. And they were like the go-to group. But they already had DJs. But for some reason, they didn't have a DJ for this battle in New Haven. It was at the Elks, and it was hosted by the Force then MCs, not the Force MDs. So it was a battle, and we ended up winning the battle, because back then a white dude was not supposed to be able to juggle records like that. So it kind of came off. And LOD, there was a guy from New Haven called Tony Pearson, Mr. Magic from New Haven. He had a record label called Tri-State Records. And he actually put out a compilation, and we were on that compilation. That's about 1980.
Okay.
So that's number 1 record. Then LOD turned into a group which we called Twice as Nice, which would be Shock and Sean was a dancer, Superman J was my co-DJ, and Jockbox was just some dude, he wasn't even in a group yet. And I had, back then it was Sweet D, Cool Rap, and Boogeyman, the baddest. So we formed one group, Twice as Nice, and we made a big impression on some New York promoters, and they put us in all these shows with all these big stars back then. Cold Crush, Crash Crew, everybody. So he used to take us on tour in New York, the tri-state area. So we grew in that. And at a certain point in '84, we split up. Jimmy, Sean, and Jock went to the left. They did the Skinny Boys. Actually, with one of my MCs, he went to the side with them. So I took a little time off with my man Cool Rap and Boogeyman. They did the Skinny Boys. We were just chilling a little bit. But after a while, my boy ELD came back to the group, and we formed Three the Hard Way. That was around the time Skinny Boys was already on Bush Records, Bridgeport label. Then they signed a deal with Warlock Records. Then eventually signed a deal with Jive Records. Three the Hard Way, we had a couple singles. I formed a label called Hardcore Records, Bridgeport-based, independent. We control our own destiny, which was a good thing back then.
Yeah.
Independent is sometimes a lot better.
Not everyone understood that, but you tell it again.
Right. When you sign a major, even with now, if you sign a major label deal, you get that money paid for your stuff, but in the long run, they want their money back.
Right.
And if you don't sell, they want their money back.
Right.
But being independent, it was cool. So that's the history with how we formed, and obviously Skinny Boys went on to some good fame. Recently got honored, and they'll be at the show on the 3rd for the first time in almost 40 years. Three the Hard Way and the Skinny Boys reunite, have not been on stage because Skinny Boys is seen.
Right.
They're getting a lot of gigs, and they're doing good, and they're blessed. But my group kind of like split. Florida, we kind of split up, so we've been out of the limelight. But having actual records is like driving a car. Once you know them, you know them.
Right.
And I've actually been out in the forefront of like a DJ career is gonna be out there, and I'm lucky that I'm still, you know, doing what I do at my age. But back to the festival, city wanted to do it, give them a budget, see what we could work with. We originally wanted some bigger artists, but you know what? In a way, it's based around our hip hop history,
Right.
and it will be everybody who came before us. There were, you know, original rap groups before records and stuff that we will be, you know, be some screens and some honorable mentions. A lot of rest in pieces.
Right.
Another group that's performing is a group called Connecticut Cartel. And they had a real dope album, I think around in early 90s. Real dope album, real dope group. So, but once again, everybody spreads out.
Right.
So they're supposed to be a surprise guest. I guess I did not surprise
it's
no
not
more.
a surprise no more.
So far, you know, we've got Skinny Boys, Street the Hard Way. Now we got Connecticut Cartel.
Okay.
Hip Hop 1001. You left the one off before.
Did I? Okay, 1001.
So
All right.
they're going to have a segment within the day of a couple artists that they're going to feature.
Okay.
And we couldn't get KRS. We wanted KRS. But KRS is KRS.
Yeah.
With a dollar sign. So we couldn't do it.
Right.
But future events, we going to do it.
That's it.
So we got the Asiatic one, better known as AZ. Real good dude, real humble. He was down for doing it at a great price. And he has a relationship with a brother called Abyss, my man Byron. He had a song recently with AZ called Legend, featuring Lamone out of New Haven. Real dope song.
Oh, Lamone is
the
a great
whole, you know,
vocalist,
we
yeah.
do have resources amongst each other.
Yes.
But unfortunately, if you don't have the money to spend on things, then it slows the process. So everything is secure. The green is secure. The date's secure. The artist is secure. I also have 4 featured DJs. It's got to be DJs,
Of course.
because we're including the 4 elements of hip hop, which is DJing, MCing, breaking, b-boy, graffiti, MCing. So we're gonna do a segment with some breakdancing, some graffiti, featured DJs, cats that I've been around my entire career. I consider good friends and good people. I got my brother coming up from North Carolina called his name is DJ Wiz. Another good brother called DJ Dr. Rock. He's been around for a minute. I've got an adopted brother out of Stanford, but he's lived in Bridgeport 20 years, DJ Terrible T. So there's nothing but adults and good music that's going to be on that stage. There'll be a couple fill-in people in the middle, but we're trying to keep the whole vibe. There's going to be a hip-hop panel, sit-down discussion. There's going to be some proclamations and a couple other higher awards being given out that day. So it's our chance to share our timeline, our accomplishments, our people, and there's a lot of other ones going on, but you know,
it's a chance for Bridgeport.
It's a chance for Bridgeport
to honor
its own
and their contributions to the hip hop culture.
Correctly.
Right.
And we do have a contribution to hip hop culture. Hip hop is the culture.
Right.
Hip hop, I live daily, not just when there's an old school party here and there. When you catch me, it's gonna be my sneaker collection could fill up that record room out there. So you're gonna catch me with something fly on my feet, and that's just me. You know, I don't do Jordans. I don't own a pair of Jordans. 400 sneakers. I don't own a pair of Jordans, but I love hip hop. Hip hop's been good to me. We're just gonna show out for the city of Bridgeport, and we're gonna have other events where other people can partake in it. But this one, we have a certain budget, certain configuration of how we don't want to bite ourselves in the butt by doing something for the city and then not being able to do it ever again.
Right.
Because Bridgeport has a real stigmatism, or should I say, they have a past of allowing you to do certain things, but when you mess it up, don't go back to do it again. You won't get that second chance.
Right.
So September 3rd, Labor Day weekend. The Sunday was a great day. Downtown, nobody's working, so it's good. It's a good thing, man. Good thing, man. Come on, I know you got some more questions, man.
Well,
you can't just let me empty out my folder, man.
Every question I was going to ask, you went ahead and answered. This guy's I said he's been on podcasts. He's been doing things. He's been talking to people.
I got a podcast, yeah.
But I'm Doc Hardy, and talking to DJ White Flash about the 50th anniversary hip hop celebration at McClevey Green next Sunday at
noon
till
7,
featuring AZ, Skinny Boys, the Hard Way, and now he says the Connecticut Cartel.
Connecticut Cartel,
is joining
and
the fray.
also Spoonie G.
Spoonie G's gonna be there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
When you jumped out your chair when I played the Spoonie G record.
I see him over here. Spoonie G.
And also a brother named T-Ski Valley. I'm gonna run his record in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, we have, we have people, man. We have.
Good deal. Now, last time you were in here, how did you get the moniker White Flash? You didn't tell the people this time. You told them last time. That was a different audience, so this is a different audience today.
Okay.
How did you become White Flash?
All right, it didn't start out that. I didn't ask for it. It didn't start out that. And even though it sounded so racist back in the day, it started out with me just being a DJ. Probably my first name was Lee Rock. Everybody was a rock back then. Then it transitioned over in high school. Then I'm from Father Panic Village, Notorious. And my brother Wiz, that I'm gonna have on this show, they used to call him Black Flash. Just hypothetically.
Okay.
But that was my best friend.
Okay.
So we're leaning on the building one day, and little Duke, I never forget my little brother Beagle, came up to me and said, "Yo, that's Black Flash. Why they don't call you White Flash?" And I was like, this is gonna suck. Once again, the greatest, Grandmaster Flash. But back then, white dude was not supposed to do none of that.
Right.
So it kind of stuck with me, grew with me, natured me, copyrighted me.
Oh,
Very
okay.
important.
All right.
So
smart man.
There's been several other White Flashes, but documented myself from 81 to current. Mm-hmm. So they must have took it and kept it locally within their area. Right. But I took it and just totally ran with it.
You are
Records,
the White Flash.
Everything that possibly could have my name on it.
Right.
We are in the Universal Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx.
You are.
We are.
Who's
Connecticut is.
Okay.
Because back then with the shows, meet everybody.
Right.
But when we did a party at either the Mosque on State Street or Stratford Roller Park, we passed out flyers. But they would give me the big, giant cardboard posters that we hung on the telephone poles. And I would always save me one or two of them. So I built a collection of those. And they came knocking one day. They were sitting in my house for 40 years. What I'm going to do with them? Would you like to sell us your collection? Oh, cool, no problem. I said, nah. They said, not even for what time do you want me there? So right now, Connecticut hangs in the Hip Hop Museum. Skinny Boys is also in there, but we are in there underneath Twice as Nice. Because all them posters was Twice as Nice posters.
Okay.
Except for two I have for the New Haven Coliseum, which we run the Fresh Fest with the Fat Boys, Salt and Pepper, Heavy D, and a group called Boogie Down Productions in 86. So the track record is there. The track record is, the resume is documented. Other than my radio career, I've always owned retail stores. I was getting a vinyl so I could stock record stores, mixtapes. There's different. My umbrella was big, White Flash Productions. And I had all my other little things underneath.
Did you really think it would last this long when you started doing it?
It can only last as long as you don't age correctly. Keep yourself trained.
Right.
Don't miss a beat. Still have knowledge of everything in this room. Actually, that carried me. I'm try to be a people person. Sometimes I can't be a people person because some people don't want to be a people person. But I don't believe in burning bridges that were not necessary to burn.
Right.
Some of them you got to burn.
Right.
But if your city loves you, they will let you know. And my city has held me up. And I've got their back 1,000%. This is any city I go to, whether it's Norwalk, Stanford, New Haven. I have to go to New Haven, play Unity Community Day. I've been doing that for 10. It's a free event. Once again, New Haven's been good to me. YBC 94.3. Right. So I have no qualm. You know what I'm saying? If there's no money involved, I'm good. But if there's money involved, we gotta talk.
Right.
But I'm about music. One of the main reasons that I survived, you always have to reinvent yourself. So after about 30 years, I got tired of the White Flash, which I always be White Flash. But it's AKA Mr. Good Music.
Okay.
Which at a certain time frame, I said, you know what? I got this market cornered with this old school stuff. So I need an adult reincarnation. Even though I'm 60, I still needed that reincarnation. So people know where Flash at. Yeah, but I'm still Mr. Good Music because I brand myself with good music.
All right.
A lot of history,
and
man.
In your opening set, you dropped a lot of the original samples. A lot of people don't know the samples, the originals that the samples come from. You're obviously well knowledgeable about that. You dropped several in about 20 minutes.
Hip-hop in general was recycling somebody else's beats and transforming them into hip-hop.
Right.
So it's been an important part of the history of hip-hop is there's nothing new without something old. Hip-hop just keeps reinventing itself every certain amount of years.
Yeah.
Rap invents itself. Hip-hop is just a big recycling bin. But back then, it's like we took a sample, they didn't argue about it until you made money from it. Because when the white dude did it, they didn't come get him. But as soon as he sold 10 million albums, we come to get half of that.
Right.
Okay, that's business.
Right.
Can't be mad at that.
Right.
Basically, right?
Yeah.
That's in a nutshell.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean,
everything now is so digital and electronic. I like dirt in my beats, man. I got an artist I'm working with now called Uncut. He's got some projects. He's doing pretty good. But once again, this is current hip hop. But the dude is treacherous. Got my man Smoke. One of the Isaac to Isaac brothers. You got Gerald and you got the other one. Gerald is actually Joe's manager now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. He wrote a couple tracks for Mary back in the day. Bridgeport has a foundation.
That's awesome.
That unless you dig into it, you'll never know it. Or just Connecticut in general.
We're going to celebrate that next Sunday. I'm Doc Hardy. It's the Doc Hardy Show on WPKN, talking with the legendary DJ White Flash about the 50th anniversary hip-hop celebration right here in Bridgeport, downtown on McClevey Green. The car is loaded. Before I turn you back to the turntables, Flash, let's talk about the turntables.
Today, but
I want to talk about it. So you started out with obviously 2 turntables and a microphone like everybody else.
Yeah, not necessarily match, but yeah, mix match, yeah.
Talk about the transition from tables to the various versions of controllers to what you're doing now? Like, what did you like? What do you still do turntables? You get a chance? What do you?
I just bought 2 brand new ones. Cost me $2,000. Yeah, yeah. I'm a vinyl dude from heart.
Yeah.
I still have a house that you walk in, it's like, oh, right. So, yeah, I'm a turntable dude, but obviously as I aged, the technology changed up, and I used to 20, 30 vinyl packages a day from labels. You know how that is.
Yeah.
Early 2000s when they said, for me been doing mixtapes all my life and doing radio, I was getting vinyl, CDs, I was getting DATs, I was getting, just before the MP3, just before the technology changed. So that's when labels, actually major labels, had development departments, A&R departments, and that was part of the reason why we stayed independent, because now, back then you had to go record, then you had to go press, then you had to take them records and put them in yellow envelopes and send them to everybody you wanted to. So right then and there, before you even got something out there, that was $10,000 between records and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So when it transitioned to digital, the CDs was cool, but this technology wasn't there yet. So you had everything on CDs. So you went from carrying records to carrying CDs. You're still limited to only with what you have. Same thing with vinyl. I used to come pull up a party and have 4 double crates of albums. I mean, double crates. Who's lugging them things up the stairs? Nobody. So once it went digital, it changed the entire game.
Yeah.
And once this laptop stuff came, it changed the entire game. So I was like, man, F that lap. That's cheating. That's cheating. But come to find out, it became my best friend.
Really? Okay.
Because now when people say, Flash, you got this? Nah, I didn't bring it with me. Oh, guess what? I got a terabyte. Let me go ahead and blah, blah, blah. All my collection is at I have more music than I can play, but I have my arsenal, because that's basically what it is.
Yep.
It's an arsenal. Is just, I get lost sometimes because I'm busy. This is a full-time job, this laptop. I wake up in the morning, work on a laptop. When I come to play, everything is there. As you see from stuff I'm playing, it's like, okay, I still have the vinyl copies, but we still do vinyl parties too. We get a bunch of DJs and we do breweries and Hand in New Haven. You know, we pick a day a week and everybody grab a crate or some 45s. I never got to the 45s. I can't afford 45s, first of all. Back then when they were 69 cents, that's different. But I still do vinyl, and you know, I'll pick up a crate and go do a thing. I still have probably 6 sets of turntables in the house, including my pair of brand new black MK7s that just came out. But they've been out the house 2 times. Today will be 3rd when I go to New Haven. Technology, man. Technology, it made it easier, but it made it lazier. Some cats just sit there and push buttons all day. If you can't get a little jazzy with it, then that's what you are. But I'm not a turntablist, but I'm a turntabler. I'm a vinyl dude.
Oh, okay.
What else, man? You know you got me locked in.
I got another.
We need more than one show for this whole interview.
We do. I'm gonna have to have you back. I got another guest coming up in 15 minutes. So what we're gonna do? This is White Flash. He's part of a large group celebrating the 50th anniversary of
Hip Hop 1001
next Sunday. Yeah.
Anthony, Marshall, myself, and Tony Tone from the Cold Crush.
Yeah.
Well, sponsored by the city of Bridgeport and the city council.
Yeah.
As well as
That's
other,
awesome. That's awesome that the city sponsored it. Yeah.
Election.
Okay. Flash, if you want to hear Flash do his thing, he's gonna finish out my hour and then come down to the Green next Sunday. Come to McClevey Green, 12 noon to 7 p.m. and help Bridgeport honor its contributors to the celebration of the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Yes, sir.
DJ, drop it. Take it.